Maybe you should go and do some contemplating.
Right reasons, right reasons. Can't put a girl for all the right reasons. Right reasons, right reasons. Can't put a girl for all 4 seasons.
I'm the Bachelorette, and I'm rapping to you poolside. Here to find true love. One man.
Hi, this is Rachel McElroy.
Hi, this is Griffin McElroy.
And this is Roze Buddiez.
It's like a weight has been a great
It's like
weight.
a cool breeze.
It's like a cool love lifts us up where we belong. A little pitchy.
Yeah, a little pitchy.
I can say that about it. But love has lifted me up to where I belong. Today we looked at Are You the One? And I took a fucking stern look in its eyes. We met eyes as strangers. And I said, Are you the one? And it said, yeah, I am. It is.
Definitely.
I think it was that LOFS. Lofts, love at first sight. Little acronym I came up with. Little Dan acronym. That's what I call acronyms sometimes. Sorry, everybody. I'm in a great mood. That was my first beer of the evening opening. It sounds like I'm drunk, but I'm just drunk on joy because I found her, the one.
Those of us that have been going through this process together, we watched Flavor of Love, and then we watched Paradise Hotel 2.
It was 40 years in the desert.
Both were pre-2010, correct?
And pre-good.
Yeah.
They were before, on the good scale, it landed somewhere pre-it.
Very terrible. Are You the One, Season 3, Episode 1, I think is probably just in the past year.
Yeah, it seemed fresh. It seemed now. It was weird. The production values were good.
Yes,
which
very.
was a strange... It was like an alien. I felt like... I had Stockholm Syndrome with my TV, and it had just beaten me down for 2 straight experimental show watches. Mm-hmm. And then it came in with that cool cloth and washed my face. I'm sure whatever the fuck we dive into next is going to be like, are you cool? Is your face cool and wet? Okay, great. I'm going to put these electric paddles on your nipples with Rock of Love. Shawn Michaels is going to put paddles right on those nips.
I don't think we go back to the Of Love
It's going to be hard to go back to anything.
I know, it's so good.
Okay, let's talk about this show. It is modern, like Rachel said, genuinely good production values. It's been a while since I've watched an MTV show. The whole, like, modern music shit, and, like, that's how they get their music on now.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
I haven't watched an MTV show in a very, very long time.
What was the MTV? Well, I guess Real World, right? We watched a season of Real World or 2 together. That's a hard TV. I'm surprised that show took off because it's hard to say, isn't it?
I guess
Say the name of the show that they do where they fight the people on the other show.
Oh, the Real World Road Rules.
See?
Shoot, it happened.
Fucking tongue twister.
Real World Road Rules Challenge.
Real World Road Rules Challenge. Inferno Season 4. Apocalypse. Fates.
Red leather, yellow leather.
This show is well cast, I'll say. A lot of diverse, interesting characters, I will say.
I will say that every show we've watched since The Bachelor or Bachelorette has been markedly more diverse than those shows.
Yes, absolutely. I don't necessarily think...
Oh, no, it's not like they're, like, handling a utopia where race doesn't exist.
Oh, fuck. Should we do an episode of Utopia?
This is Utopia. It's not a dating show.
Let's get a brand new start. Is it not a dating show? Because I remember fucking Hex and what's-his-face getting together.
Wow, you remembered.
I think her name was Hex. Anyway.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Utopia was the best
Griffin and I
show
were
ever.
the only ones that watched Utopia and loved it. So much so that when that show got canceled, I feverishly got on the internet trying to find out what happened to these people. Where are they now?
Yeah, I was Googling it. It was a show where they posted these people up in a utopia and they gave them like $10,000 to build a self-sustaining society. And of course
It was like Bonnaroo without the music.
Right, and they blew all of it instantly and then had to get jobs and shit. But the thing was you could pay for a pass to watch them all through these security cameras like 24/7. So when you Google like, oh, okay, well the show's gone, so what's up with Hex? Like the top million results are people like, here is a capture of her breast that I found on the live stream I was watching for the internet's the worst. Mm-hmm. But Are You the One is the best.
Is the best. Okay, so this takes place in Hawaii. So first off, great location.
Terrific location. Expensive locale.
Yeah. The host is Ryan Devlin.
I'm going to say it. Fucking great job. Well, at the end, during that final ceremony, which we'll get to, which was very tense, he handled that shit like a magician. He was making hand signals like, 2, like putting him out there like some sort of fucking wrestling referee. I was into him. I was feeling him.
There are 10 men and there are 10 women. And these 10 men and 10 women have 10 weeks or 10 chances.
10 weeks, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's...
We don't know for sure it's weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot of weeks.
10 chances to find their perfect match, which has been very carefully chosen for them.
Through... did Dr. Love fucking get a hand on this one?
They're like, we talked to your friends, we talked to your family, we talked to your exes, and then they said something about psychology.
They said Dr. Love came in, he had each of you smell one another secretly without... She has a sour smell. I didn't love it. It's too bad, because that's your future wife, dog. So yes, you're matched up. You're matched up through fucking weird science.
And all 10, so every person there has to find their perfect match in the same week, let's say.
Yeah.
In order to get $1 million split between the 10 of them.
Imagine the game Mastermind. You ever play that, where you had like the 5 different colored pegs, and there's 4 holes, and then you had to guess the sequence of the other person, and they would tell you like how many you have in the right place and how many you have. It's kind of like that. You got to get
Battleship, something.
Not
I
the
know.
same. It's got pegs going in holes. Is
and
that
you
what These MTV shows got you feeling randy. I get why my family didn't want me to watch the MTV shows growing up. Well, Spring Break. It's amazing. I bet if I went back and watched like MTV Spring Break from like the late 90s, it would be like more tame than The Bachelor.
Did you watch The Grind?
No, I did not watch The Grind.
It was just a bunch of wiggling people dancing on each other.
Was it a Spring Break special or was it 24/7? There's just a fucking island somewhere.
I feel like it was especially heightened during spring break. But they would put all these people out on platforms and have them dance.
Yeah, I would get tired. I would get so tired.
Yeah, you didn't really ever
Are they allowed to get off the platforms and like take a rest?
Not that I ever saw.
Oh my god, I would get so tired.
It was strange because I don't think anybody really understood why they were watching it. Maybe
Yeah.
other than to figure out some hot dance moves or to see some
Yeah,
gyrating.
it sounds like sexy Soul Train. Not that Soul Train wasn't sexy. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm 28 years old. I have no idea how sexy Soul Train was, but I'm guessing it was.
Okay,
How long do you think I could grind uninterrupted?
I mean, I've seen you go to town at weddings.
Uninterrupted. Length of grindage. How long do you think I could go? If it was like one of those like sock hop contests where you're like raising money for the JC, and so you're doing the Charleston, and
I'm
also
gonna say,
you're Will Bailey, and it's
and I think this is a flattering guess.
Okay.
I'm going to say 4 hours.
I was going to say like 45 fucking minutes. Are you kidding me? 4 hours?
Yeah, I think so.
My
I mean,
spine would telescope.
you couldn't do all your like super aerobic moves.
Okay, but if I'm fucking grinding,
You would have to do,
I don't
like,
have
a lot
I don't
of
have
your-
a halfway switch.
You have to do a lot of your air saxophone, and
No.
that would have to count.
It's a binary, 0 or 1. Grind or not grind. Whole bean. I'm not going to whole bean it out there. I'm going to grind. We have to explain the rules of Are You the One? Because
They're very complicated.
They're not that complicated.
I think they are.
I think they are genius. I like a good... I mean, it's why I write about games. It's why I like love games, and I'll watch any sport, even the boring ones. Is I love a good rule set.
I
This
know.
show has a killer rule set.
I know.
Okay, 10 men, 10 women. Got to find their perfect matches as determined by Dr. Love and a game of Guess Who on a high-stakes scale. If they can do that, everybody on the show splits $1 million. So if all 20 of them are there, everybody gets 50 G's. Still, the only thing I'm unsure about these rules is there are conditions where you will leave the house and go live in a different place. I don't know if those people still get access to that money or not. We tried to Google and could not elucidate. We are new to this program. It's not an especially important hiccup, I guess. But.
Let's go over the rest of the rules. So the other rules, if nobody gets a match, then the amount of money, which this is apparently new this season, the amount of money decreases.
By $250,000.
Yes. So if they do what they call a blackout and nobody identifies the right match, then that money drops significantly.
So it's difficult. The only sort of they have challenges, which again I love. I mean, Paradise Hotel 2 could have desperately used challenges other than Underwear Party, which was a challenge nobody wins. I sound smoky as hell right now. This is like I did Adventure Zone earlier today, and it wasn't even that. Is that WrestleMania's caught up to me? WrestleMania.
Were you yelling a lot? Were you doing a lot of yelling? What kind of things? What kind of things would you yell?
I actually got a Vine of when Shane McMahon jumped off the Hell in a Cell, and he fell like 2 stories and went through a table.
Did you scream at the top of your lungs?
I screamed, and I have this in the Vine. I tweeted it, and when I tweeted it, my phone was on mute because we were driving home at like 3 a.m. last night, and my phone was on mute. I didn't realize the Vine like perfectly captures me going, "Oh my god!" Like voice cracking nerd ass shit. Yeah, I screamed a whole lot. Anyway, 10 matches. 10 men, 10 women, 10 matches. They don't match. They lose $250,000 of the prize pool.
As long as they get one match, they're all safe for the week.
So they have to deduce based on how like comfortable and confident they feel.
Mm-hmm.
They have to sort of deduce like how to continue in the future. If you get a low number, then obviously a lot of you are wrong. I imagine once you get up into the 8s, like 8 of you are right, that's where you lose your fucking mind.
And Griffin was talking, and it's true, like, we were kind of surprised that episode 1, they weren't immediately like...
setting up speed
let's
dating.
sit down at a table,
Yeah.
let's write out an essay about ourselves, let's read these essays, like, let's take this seriously.
I mean, you could come up with a rudimentary... I'm gaming the system right now. You come up with a rudimentary scoring system of just like, here's my top 5 matches, and then you compile that data between all 20 of the people, and you should be able to come up with some sort of thing,
yeah, you
right?
got to get scientific about it.
But the data there's going to be so fucked up by the dudes who are like that one, yeah. All the dudes are like, oh yeah, that one, that one right there. Maybe they do that later on, but dudes are the worst. We're fucking weird salamander people, and so it's just like that one, of course, like that one.
I don't get the point you're making.
I'm getting like dudes are going to be like. If there's like one person who throws off the attractiveness curve, 100% of the dudes are going to be like, "That is it. That's
like
my."
We all want Cheyenne.
Yeah, I feel the connection with Cheyenne. My heart is in Cheyenne. So maybe that wouldn't work. And maybe like you have this element of like you know better than anybody else. You don't want to group think this shit. You want to protect your couple because I know it's her, and so I don't want somebody else like fucking up the data.
Yeah.
I know it's her, and so we don't want to. There's so many layers to this that I'm unpacking. Like it's a new type of thing. I'm so into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go. There's a challenge in the middle of the episode after everybody's like gotten drunk and made out and boned down. There was an implication of bone down in this episode.
Well, let's
chronologically break this shit down.
Okay, so
there's another big gameplay element that is like that's when the show.
Yeah.
When I was like, I'm gonna watch more of this show when they revealed the thing.
Okay, so the host tells us that this group collectively represents one big ass relationship fail.
And that's when I was like, Rachel, turn it off.
And then we learn a little bit about each contestant, and we find that they all have terrible taste in finding partners. That a lot of them have been victims of, being cheated on, being broken up with.
This
choosing people that are just horrible.
This allotment.
People.
Who was it that was like, I've been cheated on 19 times.
It was Rashida.
Rashida said, I've been cheated on.
Been cheated on. I've been broken up with. I've been dumped on Valentine's Day twice.
Rashida.
Here's the
thing. Were those 2 concurrent V-days? Because after the second one, it's like, all right, fool me once, Valentine's Day.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. I think a lot of it boils down to these are very attractive people who exclusively try and date people that are very attractive, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And what I kept hearing over and over again...
You're speaking from experience.
No, not at all.
I'm saying before you met me, you were in the circuit before you
No,
so
not
once
at
you
all.
slum out the circuit, you're out the fucking game. Like you're dropped out of the circuit. I think you could if you drop my ass, you could get back in that circuit like tomorrow.
I don't think that's true.
I think you can get back in it tomorrow.
I think there is a certain kind of attractive where you just feel like there's a certain a bar that you deserve, and you're focused on that above anything else. And I think that's what's happening to these people. And some of them even said that. Like one woman said, like, "Oh, I've dated a baseball player. I've dated a UFC fighter.
You think it was Brock Lesnar?
Pretty much body is important to me."
I dated Brock Lesnar, and it was. I mean, his body's insane, but like he kept taking me to Jimmy John's.
Do you think there's a real crossover between wrestling fans and Roze Buddiez fans?
He was an MMA fighter. That was factually accurate.
Okay.
He was the only one I could think of.
Do you think there's a real crossover between MMA fighting and Roze Buddiez?
I work in the games industry. I
Okay.
think we probably have some bleed there. And
Okay.
like everybody in the games industry watches wrestling because they're all a bunch of big fucking nerdos, nerdbirds. I love this voice, nerdbirds. I feel like I could be on like a 50s doo-wop record. The guy that comes in, eat at O's.
I've totally lost track of what we were talking about.
Rashida got cheated on a whole bunch.
Okay, yeah. So we learned that all of these people have terrible taste and they make mistakes all the time. And then pretty soon after Rashida admits that she has terrible taste, she kisses Alex in front of everybody, or Alec, sorry, with a C, in front of
No
everyone.
one's quite sure. I think it was interchangeable.
Alec then goes on to kiss a bunch of other women, and Rashida is shocked.
Did you call them women's?
I did.
I love that. Alec with a fluid C, he got around, and
I have a hard time with those C's.
it's true.
Yeah, there seems to be this weird possessiveness immediately where people are shocked that other people are kissing other people.
And I think that boils down from, and we got to watch more of this. I don't know. If we,
I know.
I don't know
It's
if we
gonna
do.
happen. We
I don't know
will.
if we do another episode of Roze
No, I
Buddiez.
don't think so.
Well, here's
like
the thing. There's only so many reality dating shows out there. I feel like we've struck gold.
We have a whole list of shows people have recommended.
I know,
for
but
us.
there's going to be so many breaks. I'm thinking about that break after Bachelor in Paradise, and I'm like terrified of it because it's going to be like, what, 7 months? Like, not 7 months, like 5 or 6 months. It's going to be a long time. So if we can pad it out, let's put it to the crew, because I saw a bunch of people in the Roze Buddiez group saying like, I really like this show a lot and I want to watch more of it. So maybe they want us to, let's just say tomorrow, Tuesday, if you're listening to this Tuesday, let us know in the group if you want us to watch more. If you want to move on, I'll go either way, but I think we could save some of the other shows for later.
Okay. Okay, so the other thing we discover is that Hannah and Chuck
Fucking
are
second to one.
definitely matches.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
Chuck is from Hawaii, has long blonde hair, lots of tattoos. Hannah wanders over to him, long blonde hair, tattoos, nose piercing, and they start talking, and immediately it's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Amber
it's you two.
Amber is the color of both of their energies. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that shit was like, you and I looked at each other like, oh well,
Yeah,
there's
well, there it is.
There's one out of 10.
There's
This
one
is
every
easy.
week.
We'll
Yeah.
take them out. They're the control group now. We'll take them out of the shit, and then there's 18. This is gonna be easy.
Yeah.
We got a leg up. Yeah, that was instantaneous. He was like, "What do you want to do?" She was like, "Travel." He's like, "I also want to travel." Mahalo. It was a beautiful connection.
They were vibing on each
They
other.
were vibing and craving each other's waves.
I bet they both smell the same too.
I bet they both smelled super good. How is it? You know what I mean? Like surfer people, they smell good. They smell more lotion than
Tell
normal.
me the name of one surfer person that you've smelled.
Johnny Tsunami. Easy. Next.
I don't know who that is.
Johnny Tsunami. He's like one of the most famous pro surfers in the world.
Oh, okay.
He went through some stuff. His uncle taught him to. It was a Disney Channel original.
Oh, Griffin, you always get me with that
Soul
Disney.
Surfer. Soul Surfer
Okay.
is another one with surfing in it.
Okay.
Blue Crush also has surfing in it. Meet the Deedles is another movie with surfing in it.
And you smelled all these people? Is
And
that what you're saying?
Johnny from the OC. Johnny from the OC is the other one. And Chili, his friend from the OC.
So do you think that surfers smell like DVD?
I think they smell good.
They smell like DVD packages?
You go into Billabong and it's like, why did I call it Billabong? I don't know. You walk into Billabong and it's like overpowering.
This is the second time on this show we've talked about Billabong.
Well, I want you. My birthday's coming up. That's all I'll say. I want some new fucking board shorts. I need some boogie board pasties. I went boogie boarding and it was like I would put my nipples through a Parmesan grater. Hard truths. Couldn't even wear a shirt. Couldn't swim in the ocean anymore. Salt water irritated it.
How old
Had
were
to swim
you?
in the hotel pool. Old enough. You haven't wondered why I'm like Adam over here, like fully nippleless? Why I'm like Kyle XY here with my fucking smooth, featureless torso?
Well, I've never seen you with a shirt off, so
That's true.
I have no idea
Yeah.
what goes on under there.
We gotta wait till our 5th anniversary. You know the rules.
I know.
Double Mormon.
Okay, and then they play spin the bottle with a can of Red Bull, which is
This was amazing.
the most MTV thing I have ever seen. It was so good when that happened.
You think about the physics of it. Spin the bottle as a game works because you use a big heavy glass bottle. You get some momentum. You spin it, it'll spin. Fucking empty can of Red Bull?
Was it empty? I didn't
It was
get
open.
confirmation. Oh, it was? Okay.
If it wasn't, they were just sloshing Red Bull all over themselves, which is still very MTV. But, man.
Alec ends up kissing some woman that is sitting right next to Stacy. Stacy has had enough at this point.
Despite
She
the fact that
is very
Stacy,
upset.
like, Stacy knows that he was making out with that other girl.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, so
Stacy.
Alec was the one that was making out with Rashida. Rashida got upset with Alec. Alec turned to Stacy. Stacy got upset when Alec was... And Alec is just... He's revealed
Getting
himself
around, getting
to
around.
be a free agent.
So,
Stacy
there's
also, just to clarify, Stacy has a hat that says sexy bitch on it.
Yeah, that's
Thought
true.
it's worth mentioning.
Rachel doesn't use that word, but
No, I wouldn't.
it's okay to use it.
If I
it's-
had that hat, it would say attractive B word.
Okay. I think it's okay to say that word if it's on a hat. For you, I would never, even if I don't even get the hat clause. I can't
No?
even quote it on a hat. But if you saw it on a hat and you wanted to say it,
So when
and we
they
were
called
far
that,
enough away from the person with the offending hat, I think it would be okay.
so when they called that show "Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23," did you?
That's okay because it's in a television show title.
Okay.
Do you not
What
know
about
the-
a song? What about what if it was? in a
She's
song?
up, I'm up. I'm a lover, I'm a child.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get up there and I do it at karaoke. I'll do like do the radio self edit, like inverted, like she's a lover. And I'll say she because I won't say I because I'm not I'm not a child. I'm a mother. That's crazy. She is she's a mother.
Yeah.
I've listened to a lot of radio songs.
No, I know. Okay, so then that next morning, Devin leads yoga on the lawn.
Thank you, Devin. I was feeling very tense, and you really guided me through some stuff.
Yeah. And then we see a confessional. I don't know what to call them, but it seems like a confessional if we're going to follow like the MTV logic.
Called the Shade Tree.
Kiki and Devin are talking and they reveal their enthusiasm for each other, and Kiki talks about her bracelets, how she has like a bracelet that says like match on it and another bracelet, and that her match will get her other bracelet, and Devin's like, isn't she the best?
I don't even think Devin believes that.
No.
Devin was like, these are my jelly bands. They show you how much stuff I've done.
Oh my gosh. Was that a thing when you were in school?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
What do you... No.
I knew
You didn't marry a fucking 15-year-old.
I knew that it was a thing after I had left high school, and I didn't know if maybe it had already hit.
If I wanted to talk about the sexual activities I participated in high school, I would have done what all my other friends did, which was lie about them, because they didn't exist.
You know what we had? This may have been something that just my friends made up, but there was something called third base tabs. Are you familiar with those?
No, ma'am.
You would
Is
take...
it like if you want to learn like the bass tabs to like a song, like I'm a B word by what's her face? Then you would like learn it on bass tab. and you'd
Meredith
be like,
Brooks, isn't
Meredith
it?
Brooks, and you'd be like, oh man, that was great. It's like, yeah, I
No.
had sex.
No, you would take the tab top off a soda, and every time you got to third base, you would like string it on like a necklace, and you could like wear that.
Is third base like that one?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Because first base is like, and then second base is like, and then third base is like.
You're using the same hand to do all of these.
You want me to fucking wash it?
Yes.
And home run is.
Yes.
So just to recap,
Recap.
I'm gonna run the
Yeah,
bases.
no,
I'm
go through it
gonna
again.
run the bases real
Okay,
quick.
okay.
And I'm gonna get it in the Parker real quick.
It's all his right hand now. If Griffin were left-handed, I imagine he would be using his left hand right now. Oh, that home run was elaborate.
Oh, he was celebrating. He just won the World Series, Rachel. Jeez.
But yeah, I just remember instantly in I feel like maybe it was even middle school when I heard this, thinking like, oh no, now there's going to be women walking around with these third base tabs.
I thought you were gonna say because this is true. Oh no, my parents don't let me drink soda.
No.
Where am I
No.
gonna get some fucking soda cans?
I was allowed caffeine-free Diet Pepsi
Oh
in
my
my
God.
house. Thank you.
I bet you got so much action. You come over to my house, we'll drink some caffeine-free beverages together. Show you my
Yeah,
I'll do my dances for you that I learned in dance class.
Oh. You know, the other story that my friend Sarah likes to tell is that one time she came over to my house and we had saltless pretzels in the fridge.
In the fridge? Don't want these to go bad. These are saltless pretzels. Got to protect these saltless pretzels.
Okay, anyway. I was worried there would be no challenge on this show because I feel like reality shows, especially reality dating competitions without challenges, just feel driftless. But there's a challenge called Worst Face Forward.
Which is, in retrospect, kind of a really super duper mean name for the game, considering they literally showed all the men women's baby pictures.
Yeah.
Look at your ugly fucking baby face.
Well, they weren't all baby photos, but they were definitely not as embarrassing as I thought they would be. Like, everybody still looked cute. It wasn't like braces, acne. It was like, oh, look at me, I'm wearing a stupid hat.
Yeah.
How embarrassing that anyone saw this. But the men had to identify the women. And one of the guys is like, hey, I don't even know half these people's names yet, which is a fair point.
Yeah, fair play.
But yeah, you would buzz in when you would see a photo and you'd be like, oh, I think that's Rashida. And then if you were right, you got to be one of 4 that got to pick
Go on a date.
partners to go on a date.
Just again to break down the rules of this game, which are terrible, you buzz in, and then if you get it wrong, nobody else can guess. So, like, there was one dude who was just, like, buzzing in as fast as he could. And if you got it wrong, like, okay, well, whatever. Because nobody else is going to get to guess this one. So, fuck it. I'm just going to buzz in as fast as I can. And as long as I keep doing that, eventually I'm going to win.
That was Devin, actually. I think
Fucking
they kept
Devin,
doing
yeah.
that. They call these excursions getaway dates, which I'm always interested to learn the vocabulary of these reality dating shows.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's all so similar, but they come up with their own little unique
To use the
brand.
Bachelor vernacular, this would be a 2-on-2 or a 4-on-4? No, 2-on-2 on 2-on-2, a 2x4.
So it's Mike, Hunter, Melanie, and Cheyenne.
These names mean nothing to
They
anybody.
mean nothing to anyone. And they get to pick somebody they want to bring with them on this excursion.
The only meaningful things that happen is Hawaii Jim, what's his name?
Chuck.
Chuck gets taken away from his lady love.
And he says, quote, I was a beautiful baby. I'm going to make pretty babies too. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Do you want to say it, though, in your Chuck voice?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna have the babies and they're gonna be a pretty babies. That's what's up.
Do you want to try that? Do you want to try that again? But like a little more surfer. Like think you're you're in a billabong.
Okay,
Pretend you're in a
Let
billabong.
me get in my billabong frame of mind. I'm gonna have babies and they're gonna be pretty babies. That's what's up.
There you go. Nailed it.
So Chuck and his oceanic lady love get split up. She gets asked out by somebody else. He gets asked by one of the other women. You know they're just making eyes that whole day.
Yeah, so there were a lot of split ups.
And then Devin and Kiki, who were talking jelly bands, they also get split up by the cruel fates of love, which is weird. You got 2 couples.
And we didn't understand why that was happening.
Yes.
And then we found out.
Then we found out about that boof of truth. That truth boof. I love the truth boof.
There's going to be a lot of spit on your
Truth
microphone.
boof. The friends that stick together always stick together. We're the truth
I
boof.
thought you were doing
Best of
DuckTales.
friends forever. Got the words wrong. Time and time wherever we go. So come on to go. Going to the truth booth. Sibba-da-bop-ba-ba-doo-bop. Yeah. I can do that part really good, thanks to my WrestleMania voice.
Does the Goof Troop theme song sound a lot like DuckTales?
No, not at all.
It sounded like it when you were
Because the
singing.
other one went, DuckTales, woo.
And now do Goof Troop.
Truth booth, woo.
Okay, anyway. This is apparently something I guess that you are familiar with, and the contestants were obviously familiar with if you're a watcher of the show. But anyone who goes on these getaway dates is up for possible elimination.
I guess. Okay, so here's where Rachel and I don't know. Well, let's get to that later.
Okay.
They may or may not be up. I think that nobody gets eliminated from this show. Let's talk about that dispute.
Okay.
And let's
All right.
maybe pause the show and Google it until we get a fucking firm answer, because that's embarrassing.
Okay, so they all get to go on a open ocean dolphin swimming date.
Rachel and I went swimming with dolphins once.
Yeah, do you want to tell that story?
I felt kind of guilty about it. I felt like kind of bad about it.
I know. Well, okay, so we were in Mexico.
We were in Mexico. We were supposed to go to Chichen Itza. That's the one.
And Griffin got very sick.
I got so sick. My tummy got so sick. We basically lost a day of the trip.
And so we went down to the desk at the hotel and tried to get a last-minute trip.
It was the day after, I was still kind of sick, and I didn't want to, drive out to some fucking Incan ruins and then be get to the top of them and then sit at them with my lady love and then say, oh, my dad, and then shit my brains out.
So the only thing that was left on short notice was this dolphin excursion.
And there were multiple packages for this dolphin place, and this was the worst. I was in a bad state of mind. I had my brain was just fucked up because I was really out of it from the disease.
Yeah.
And there were multiple levels. There was a silver package and an emerald package and a diamond package, and each one was more expensive than the last. And I remember, I'll never forget this. Yeah, I asked, what are the different packages for? And he said, oh, well, if you pay more money, then they let you do more stuff to the dolphins. And I remember hearing that they'll let you do more stuff. And I was like, fuck. Humanity has fucked this planet up. That's what switched it for me.
Griffin
we are a disease. We are
Griffin
a virus.
and I took the entry level where you just you touch them and they swim around you.
Pacal.
And yes, I remember,
Pacal.
And very
not
nice.
Pascal. I'm not saying that word wrong. It was Pakal. Pacal.
Very young male dolphin, and
virile.
And we were in a pool with a bunch of families because we were apparently the only adults that were I don't want to do weird stuff to dolphins.
Me and the dad made eyes. We were both kind of green. Or diarrhea. Yeah, diarrhea. Chichen Itza. Yeah, I'm supposed to go to Chichen Itza, but I got that. Yeah. Me and my kid. Both of us. Horrible water just pouring.
Oh, okay. But the trainer, my favorite part was when the trainer asked Griffin a very special question.
Got very deep in. I was very brave. I was touching this dolphin despite the fact that he could kill me. She did this thing where she's like, Pacal, show him how fast you can swim. And he would swim around the perimeter of the pool, which was very big. And we were on the outskirts of it. But he would swim very close to us. And she was like, he can swim up to 40 miles an hour. And I remember hearing that thinking oh, he would fuck me up if he ran into me.
Yeah, he'd swim right through you.
If he did a wide lap, he would kill probably 2 or 3 of us. That would be a rough way to end the trip, although I feel like dying. But
there was several
did all kinds
tricks.
of stuff. Touch the belly, high-five the fin.
And there was a trick where you could put your face out.
And he would kiss you on the mouth. And she said, good boy, Pacal. And then she said, Griffin, have you ever kissed a boy before? And I was sitting there. There was another family.
Time stood still.
Time stood still, and not for any reason except for this is the God's honest truth. I was thinking.
Griffin wanted to answer really honestly.
I wanted to answer honestly.
Well, I did do theater as a child, so it's possible.
I did theater, which means it doesn't mean I had.
No, but your character, may have had to explore some.
We were doing fucking Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
You probably kissed everybody in that cast.
I mean, here's the thing about the theater community, is you play a lot of kissing games. It's an exploratory community. That whole fucking American Pie band camp shit, fuck that shit. That shit is true of the theater community, where people are I kiss you once. It's the only shit where you have to actually kiss people.
Yeah,
there's sexual energy everywhere.
I did go to band camp, and we did not have to kiss anyone ever.
Yeah, we had to kiss people on the stage to put fucking butts in the seats.
Yeah, because everyone wants to watch underage teens.
I was yeah, I have. No, I don't remember what I said. I think I probably just stood
I think
there
you didn't
sheepishly.
answer.
Yeah, that sounds
I think
like
you
me.
just giggled.
Because the answer was yeah, I think
probably.
so. And I didn't want to say that. Yeah.
This was your first dolphin though, correct?
This was I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. So
my first full dolphin. Not a man in a really, really super duper duper shiny realistic dolphin suit.
So they go on this dolphin date. Cheyenne gets a little seasick.
Cheyenne gets a lot seasick.
pukes over the side a bunch, and then tells us, the viewer, I took off my pants so that maybe everyone would just look at my butt while I was leaning over the side.
She was wearing a swimsuit, which is an important note that Rachel left out because you just made it sound like she let her bare ass hang out while she puked over the side of a boat.
She's wearing a swimsuit.
Daddy like.
At this point, Chuck says, I'm a dive instructor. There's no way that they're matches.
Cheyenne is the one who asked Hawaii Joe out. And
Devin is on the date with Melanie, I want to say. Yeah, Melanie. And Devin is asking Melanie, Melanie, have you ever cheated on anybody? And she's like, no, of course not. She's like, why? What about you? And he's like, I have had 4 serious girlfriends, and I have cheated on every one of them. So
he's fucking consistent.
We get a sense of what Devin's all about.
How do you
not cheat on someone?
How do you like? It would be hard to fuck that up that much on purpose. Nah, it wouldn't. Due to the worst.
Yeah,
I take it back.
No, for sure. Kiki and Hunter are on this date together. They're both kind of Southern individuals that seem excited to talk about family and how it's the most important thing.
Is Hunter the one that said Kiki? I love kiwis. Kiwi? Kiki? Huh? You get it? Dummy.
I think it was Devin that said that, actually. And this is something that I think is interesting. And Griffin, you might have more insight into this.
Please. Let me tell you about men.
I've noticed on these reality dating shows, people always seem to really bond about, like, family's really important to me. And then the other person is always like, me too. Oh my gosh, family's the most important. And they act as if this is like a novel thing that nobody else shares, but those two in that moment. What is that?
I guess it's disappointing to hear you say that. Because I actually, we haven't really talked about it. We've been married for a couple of years now, but I actually think family is pretty important. So if you can't fucking hang with that, and if you can't join me on my scuba excursions because of your ears, I know it's a sensitive topic, but like as long as we're hashing shit out, you don't care about family, you got scuba-less ears, that's what's up. That's what's up.
You're talking about my ears on this podcast?
You brought it up.
I get ear infections very easily. It was not something I expected to talk about on the podcast.
You can talk about one of my deficiencies. Just kidding. I don't have any. I love my family, and I can get real deep down in the ocean. I can get so deep in the ocean.
But you can't eat a lot of sugar-free gummy bears.
That's true. I got really bad diarrhea on the way to WrestleMania. Kind of a theme developing in this episode.
All right. Anyway.
I don't need sugar-free gummy bears when I'm fucking at the bottom of the Marianas Trench hanging out with fucking lanternfish. Like, oh, bro, that's so cool. He's like, I know, I got a light on my head.
Is this the scuba date you're talking about?
Yeah,
okay.
Between me and a lanternfish, because you can't come with me.
Okay. So they get back from the date, and this is when the truth booth comes into play. So the 4 people that were just on the date, everyone back home is voting which of the 4 they think is
back home
the match.
at the house. There's not like a fucking American Idol hashtag.
Yeah. And so they're choosing between the 4 couples, and everybody's like, duh, Kiki and Hunter. Because when they got announced, Kiki was so excited because she loved Southern gentlemen.
Which was bullshit, because she was, like, ran up, like, oh, boy, I'm so excited. And then, like, immediately it cut to the behind-the-scenes, like, interview, and she's like, I don't want that at all. I want to be with Devin. Like, I don't like this dude, basically, at all.
Yeah.
But they're both, like, Southern, and she was like, I just want somebody nice.
They both love family.
Both love family. Both love scuba. And that's not true. They might. And so everybody voted for him, thinking like they're going to be a match.
Yeah.
And
so here's
how the truth booth works. It's amazing.
Okay. Well, first, like Kiki makes it very obvious that she is upset.
She
with
raises
this
stink.
She's like, she doesn't want him to be her match, and she's worried that he will be, and she's very upset that like the first couple they might have to leave.
This is amazing. There's so many fucking tasty ass layers to this bloomin' onion. That element of she had a crush on somebody else, so she didn't want to go into the TB with this dude that she wasn't feeling for fear of the fact that all of these different, and again, we can't trust the veracity of the weird science that went into this, but that weird science is probably better to go on than like, I saw you and you gave me a boner, and I've known you for 36 hours and you gave me a boner. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the two are relatively equitable. But she literally was like, I don't want him to be my love. I don't want him to be my soulmate. Like, that's kind of a crazy thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was interesting, and people really called her out on it. They were like, hey, what is your deal? Like, if he's your match, great. Then you found him.
There was an element of...
They were like, it's all about the money, obviously. That's
all
the
you
whole
care about
reason
is
you
the
don't want to
money.
leave. Which makes me think that they are out of the running for the money if
Maybe.
they get sent home.
But there's a very right reasons shit about that. Because there was, like, some shade being thrown of, like, you're not here for love.
Yeah.
We're here for your love. You're not here for love.
Yeah, like how lucky would you be to have found love so quickly?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little insincere. But Hunter's very upset. He's like, "Oh, you're devastated." He's like, "You were very clearly devastated." Like he was not happy that Kiki was protesting too much. So here's where they walk into the truth booth.
This information does not exist on the fucking internet.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure you just go to the honeymoon suite, you are separated from everybody else, and then you just don't do it. Which I guess is kind of like, you wouldn't want that. Can you imagine, like, if it's really 10 weeks, and it's like, oh, you've been matched up with a person, now go fucking live with them for 10 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you've surrendered control, and you're also... But, I mean, it should be your perfect match, right?
Yeah, it should. I don't know. Gang, there's one piece of information Rachel and I don't have. That's just how this one's going to be.
I don't think people are too concerned about it.
You go to the truth booth.
Let's talk about the truth booth.
The truth booth is some fucking...
It is like this set of Star Trek in there.
It's like this set of, like, the mole from the year 2000. Like,
as they walk in together, there is a green bar that goes over them as if to be some kind of body scan. And then they're looking at this monitor, and the monitor will reveal whether they're a match.
Just
After the body scan.
You know it's just fucking Dr. Love back there with one of those RFID scanners, just, like, running it over them.
And while they're going through the body scan, the other contestants are back in the house, and they're all watching their reaction
Looking at
live.
a 3D image of their naked bodies.
No, Griffin.
I was making, like, a TSA joke.
That's really good. I want to give you credit where credit is due.
Hey, thanks. It feels authentic and pure. What sells it is the face you're making.
Okay, so then, from what I can tell, at least according to my notes, they go straight to the first matchup, is what they call it, which is like...
Did we say that they weren't a match?
Yeah, they weren't.
Okay, Kiki and Hunter were not a match. I wanted to keep talking about the truth booth, because I got so excited about it.
Okay.
And I want to sing the praises of it.
Okay.
It's genius. Like, it's such a cool... If they didn't have the truth booth, I'd be curious to see if they had this nug in season 1. Because it's the only way to confirm whether or not you are a match with a person. I can't... This is why I want to watch it, because there's so many ways that this shit can go sideways, like, instantly. Because you're like, all right, well, you picked me and this girl that, like, I'm just crazy about. We're going to go in the truth booth. You go in the truth booth, not a match.
Well,
like, what the fuck do you do
weird
then?
Is it creates... I mean, unless you're really into your person and you want to be sequestered with them, it creates this incentive to bring randos on your date with you that you think there's no way you're a match, just to, like,
and then what happens
stay
in the
another
inverse
week.
when it's like, all right, me and this rando playing defense,
And then they end up being
you're
a
the
match.
match.
I know.
We gotta watch more of this show tonight. I gotta know how this shit breaks out. I want to know. We got the MTV app, by the way, on Apple TV. We recommend that people watch it on MTV.com. If you got the MTV app on Apple TV, they got all that shit.
Oh, and somebody from Canada found the Canadian equivalent, not the same show, but like the web service where you can watch it in Canada.
Interesting.
But we haven't heard if there's an option in the UK.
Do we have a lot of UK listeners?
Well, we had somebody ask how they could watch it, and they didn't know what to tell them. Okay, so now it's the matchup ceremony.
Turn it on BBC 4 on 7:15 p.m. on a Thursday.
Oh my god!
Yeah, baby.
All right, do your surfer voice now. I feel like you could really get it if just go straight from that into your surfer voice.
Okay. Yeah, I want to have babies. And I'm trying to do like a blend of the two. Yeah, I have babies. And they're going to be pretty babies. That's what's up. That's not bad.
That was
It's
good.
Closer.
That was your best one.
Yeah, baby. I want to have babies. Do I make you honey, baby?
Oh, no.
My wife.
Oh, it's the best of.
My name is Borat. Swing.
It's the greatest hits.
Donkey.
All of Griffin's impressions.
Donkey.
Griffin does this thing sometimes where he keeps saying something.
Donkey.
He can make me laugh. And sometimes I just obstinately stare at him blankly.
Donkey.
Nothing.
Swing.
I'm stone cold.
My wife.
You're not going to get anything.
My wife. My wife.
You can't bring in physical comedy. That's cheating.
My wife.
Oh, God. That's awful.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. So the women are called up semi-randomly, it seems, to pick
Shit drives me fucking crazy.
their perfect match.
Second week in a row. Because they get up there and they pick their perfect match, and then once you pick the perfect match, you lock in, and then nobody else can pick
And then
them.
it's just leftovers.
And it's just fucking leftovers for
Yeah.
the woman to go last. That shit drives me fucking crazy. I know that you're all trying to be team players and trying to pick all the 10 perfect picks, but like you can't do that shit this early on. There's like an early advantage to going early, and they're just doing it willy nilly.
Should I go through the names, even though they don't mean anything?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Let's go over the perfect. Okay, so surfer boy, surfer girl pick each other. Like, yup, you got
Yeah.
it.
Rashida picks Tyler, who we don't know. Amanda picks Mike, who we do know, because I believe they had intercourse and said to each other that they were their perfect matches
Yeah, baby.
while they were doing it.
Donkey,
No.
you're my match.
No.
Let's get to fifth base tonight.
Melanie picks Devin.
Let's get to the pitcher's mound. Let's go to the peanut stand, Donkey. I want to explore your dugout. My life.
God, I hate this.
Trying to think of other baseball. There's a scoreboard. You know, they can climb up in the scoreboard. There's a sex joke there.
Melanie picks Devin, and
Melanie. Okay, that was one of the ones where he's a piece of shit. She was like,
Devin. Okay, so Devin. Melanie's like, I don't know that I really want to pick Devin, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And he's like, hey, like I don't want to be exclusive. Like, a love octagon is better than a love triangle. Because Melanie was talking about how like Kiki and Devin are obviously into each other.
And
I don't
then-
want to be part of a triangle.
And then there was a man in the sidelines who said, Devin, I'm going to put you on blast right now because didn't you say that you wanted to smash these two ladies?
Yeah, smash both of them was the quote.
And he did not deny it, which is like,
Devin, under duress, says, maybe I said something quickly like that it would be a nice threesome.
It would be cool to have sexual intercourse with the two women. I may have said something like, it would be cool. It would be a neat time. A good hang.
And Kiki is torn up. She immediately is like, well, that's it for Devin.
Yep.
Guess we're not together.
Kiki was bummed out. And yet, like, the other girl, like, knew that he was double teaming with Kiki, and she was like, yeah, I think he's definitely playing us both. Anyway, I'm definitely still going to pick him.
Yeah.
That happened with another one, too. I think Mike and
Stacy and Alec.
Stacey and Alex. Stacey was like, Alec, you piece of shit.
We fight all the time. We hate
fight
each
all the time.
other.
I hate you. Anyway, you're my pick.
Alec.
I think you're the one.
Which I would not be surprised. The way they fight,
They fought real good.
they seem compatible.
Okay.
But yeah, and then there's a bunch of pairs that we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And then we're told they're going to shine 10 beams of light into the sky. If you get all 10 beams, that signifies that everybody has found their match. You need at least one beam to continue with this same $1 million
With the $1 million.
amount.
If you get a blackout, which is no lights, you lose $250,000.
And they get 2 beams of light, which I think is
Surfer
probably
couple.
Hannah and Chuck.
That's a surfer
And-
couple.
Yeah, and then maybe Stacy and Alec.
I don't know, dude.
Just the way they fight, there's so much passion.
The math of this game is staggering, right? Because, like, in order to make this work, and the truth booth is going to help you out, obviously, because they're going to have to hit a point at some point where it's like, okay, we actually need to, like, get together and start figuring out who's in love and, like, knocking out. Because you take 2 people out of the equation, that's huge. That, like, takes it down by, because it's exponential. So that, like, takes out millions and millions and millions of possible combinations. I think my math is right on that. And so
yeah.
every time you do that, you reduce it. So if you can get it down to like 2 groups of 6, that might be doable. But 10 on 10, you have a 10 to the 10th power number of combinations, I think. My math is probably fucking like, humorously off. It's an impossible number to like really get.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I hope at some point on the show they start doing like real strategy.
where's the pivot? Right. Where's that pivot point where it's like, all right, we need to sit down at a table and stop fucking each other. We need to stop spinning this can of Red Bull and start spinning our brains.
Yeah, like let's do Han and Chuck again. We're pretty sure about them, but this time let's think about maybe Devin and Kiki and
That
see if that
collaborative
works.
effort is so fascinating to me. Because
Yeah.
it's like maybe the only reality game I can think of where everybody's like really working together and not exactly competing, but there's also love on the line.
Yeah.
Damn it, are you the one? You got me.
It's an incredible show.
Fucking snagged me good. That's a good rule set.
The people are gross. Like there are lots of gross elements, but the concept
is great. And not only that, the same like way that you watch The Bachelor, and I've talked about this like a bunch of like, you gotta have at least that 0.0001% belief in your mind of like, there could be something real going on here. Apparently from season 1, there's a couple that is married and like has a kid.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to have that sort of suspension of disbelief. And in this show, and it's probably total phony bullshit, but you at least have, and they have, the idea of, well, science says, like, there's a win condition. You know what I mean? Like, Bachelor, you could end up with him, and it's like, that might not be the... There's so much interesting fucking stuff happening here. And I think a lot of it could be phony baloney bullshit, but it's like, psychologically, like, it's very real to the people playing the game. Mm-hmm. How territorial can you possibly be? Like, at what point, if you're the only couple, if you get 8 beams of light, and you're one of the couples that, like, everybody's like, dude, it's you. It's you, dog.
Yeah.
It's you. You gotta not pick them at the ceremony because it's not you. You're not a fucking match. You're gonna lose this $1 million. Do you give in? Do you cave to that? I don't know. Gotta watch more of this show tonight. Let's end this recording. It's a great show. MTV, you've done it again. You did it. You got a real world on your hands.
There are other shows that people voted for in the poll I created. One of the shows is Joe Millionaire. I can't find it anywhere.
Doesn't exist, gang. Fox bombed that shit from orbit.
Yeah, it doesn't. If somebody can find it on the internet and it's free use and legal, we'll watch it. But otherwise, I'm sorry, we're not going to. But the rest of the list, I think we will try and make our way through. Maybe not in the order. Although, I gotta be honest with you, RuPaul's Drag Race is a little far from the point of the show.
Yeah, it's a sweet thought. You know, we watch that show.
We love it. We know other people love it.
But it's not.
But it's just
not a dating show.
It's
I
not
think
Roze
we gotta have
Buddiez.
that date. Just going down the list, Joe Millionaire at the top doesn't exist anymore. I Want to Marry Harry. You can probably find that one.
I did watch the first episode of that.
How was it?
It's pretty terrible.
Okay, thanks, gang. Beauty and the Geek.
I never watched that.
Is that just another name for our podcast?
Oh, Griffin.
No, I'm the Beauty.
Okay.
Are You the One? Check. Did that. Married at First Sight. That one sounds fucking rough. Tila Tequila. Dog. Let's see. Rock of Love. No, Over My Fucking Dead Body. Temptation Island. I don't know. Unreal. Another sweet one. Maybe. I mean, that is... Technically, we're getting out there. We've watched all of that show already, and it's very good. And I don't know that we could say more about it. Dating Naked. There's old episodes of The Bachelor. They're on Amazon Instant Video. Is that true?
Yeah, but you have to purchase them.
No way, guys. This is a fucking.
I don't feel comfortable asking people to purchase.
Well,
shows.
no, I don't feel comfortable asking us to purchase it. We haven't made a fucking dime off this podcast. It is a not-for-profit job. Joe Schmo, former with his wife. Next could be fun. We've talked about Next. Bridalplasty. What?
Again, all of these would have to be available online.
Somebody's voted for something called Please Marry My Boy.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. It's a bunch of moms who put up their sons, and they have women compete for their sons.
Please.
If we can find it, I would watch it.
I thought this was a joke from somebody who has like a Tim and Eric style sense of humor. Please marry my boy.
No.
Marry my boy, please. He needs a marry.
We'll put a poll in the Facebook group asking if you'd like us to continue Are You the One or go to another show. And I'm going to...
One day only, because if the answer is yes, we're going to eat this fucking season alive. We're going to go ham on this season of television.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. We have almost 2,000 members in the Facebook
I
group
know,
now.
it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should monetize this shit.
I'm real happy that people are sticking with us, even though...
Let us know if we charge $5 an
Griffin,
episode.
no.
$5 to download
No.
an episode.
No.
People pay $20 to go see a fucking Avengers movie, and we work way harder on this than they do.
That is not true, and you know it.
Movie tickets are $20.
Our coffers are full.
Way to brag about our money situation.
I'm guessing we have a lot of Max Fun crossover, and a lot of those people just donated to
That's
Max
probably fair and true. Anyway, I feel uncomfortable right now. That was all just goofs. What's Daisy of Love? What's parental control? Fuck, we gotta dig into this shit. Anyway, thanks for listening to Roze Buddiez. If this is one of those things where like you didn't watch the thing, go watch the shit. You got that Griffin and Rachel McElroy guarantee.
It is enjoyable.
It is good stuff. Are you the one? Gets the seal. I feel like we need some sort of like
a stamp.
Yeah, like some sort of like, because we're gonna do this a lot.
Do you have like a sound effect that we could play? Maybe like a cash register or something.
Is that really what it would be?
I don't know.
Let me go through my phone and see if there's like a fun like text tone thing that I can just like play anytime I wanna. And I'll change my text tone because it's been the same shit for like 7 years.
What, to like signify a winner?
Yeah, so like angel bells, like you won. Good work. Are you the one? You don't like that.
Doesn't really get the people hype. No.
What would that even be like? No. Oh God. No.
They all sound like rings.
Congratulations, Are You the One? You've ascended into the pantheon of love shows that Rachel and Griffin didn't barf at. As you take this honor from our hands on the stage, you're a sentient, living television show. Reflect on the decisions that led you here, and just keep chasing your dream and your blip. The end of the speech. Congratulations.
Perfect.
I feel like that was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's also...
No, we should...
We got it.
We should quit while we're ahead.
What about this, though? No, wait. We do like a train. Here comes the good show train. Oh,
Griffin, this is not entertaining anymore.
All aboard for a good television show.
What if I get you a real train whistle for your birthday?
Baby, you know that would be my dream. We gotta end the show. It's so sweaty on here. My glasses are falling off my face.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening to Roze Buddiez. I'm Griffin McElroy.
I'm Rachel McElroy.
When you're ready.
But who will get the final rose? Stay with us on this journey of joy.
Spoiler alert!
She ends up with Soldier Boy.
Right reasons, can't be good for all boys.